Hey everybody, Omar here, the Knife Shark Guy. I'm back with another fun-filled video, and today's video is actually on the actual use of this little guy right here. This is the Kershaw Tumbler, made by Dmitry Sinkovich. I have kind of used this knife for the last month. It's actually kind of dull now. I'm going to do a paper cut test, and it's going to be pretty sad. But yeah, I mean, I've used this knife the past month cutting up cardboard boxes. I'm talking like cardboard boxes that are like about 1/8 of an inch thick, like 5, 6, 7, 8 all in succession. I mean, I was doing some spring cleaning around my house, and I decided I'll go ahead and put this knife to the test. It stood up pretty well overall. Cardboard boxes was not a problem. Plastic certainly was not a problem. Bubble wrap cutting on this knife was not a problem either. D2 steel does hold up pretty well, but like all things, depending on how hard you're going to be using it. And keep in mind, I mean, I use this thing like I'd use a ZT. And the reason that happened was not purely by accident, but it's the fidget factor on this knife. This knife is so smooth, guys. I mean, look at that. Why would you not be addicted to putting this guy in your pocket when you leave the house? So I needed a knife, and the day that I needed a knife, I happen to have done some serious spring cleaning, and I cut up cardboard boxes. I cut up plastic. I even cut up like a little sheet metal with it, which that didn't do so well. But yeah, whatever it was I needed to cut up that day, or it was like 4 days of heavy use. The knife did stand up. It didn't break at all. It's after all that heavy use going through those heavy cardboard boxes, there's still no blade play on this. The knife's been through some serious hell, and it didn't deserve it. But yeah, like I said, the fidget factor, I could sit and watch TV and put this thing all day long. So, I mean, this was the knife that I just simply had to have in my pocket just because of that. I'm a flipping freak. I don't know about you guys, but I get a knife, I got to flip the hell out of it. And the fact that, you know, it closes so easily, it's fantastic. Other things on the knife, I noticed when I was cutting it, I mean, the centering didn't go off at all once. It's still exactly in the same position. So it's a pretty heavy, it's a pretty sturdy knife as far as the mechanics. It doesn't seem to break. None of the bolts or anything seem to loosen. You can cut through light to moderate things with this. I wouldn't go cutting like serious, you know, heavy 8-inch thick, like, nylon cord with it or anything, but, you know, it'll do whatever, pretty much anything you need for any job. But, I mean, just to show you how beat up it is, I mean, I tried cutting with this earlier. You can see right there. I don't know. Yeah, see, it's already starting to tear the paper, which means I need to get it sharpened now. I mean, this thing, when I first cut with it, it was great, but now it's just like just tearing the paper apart, so. But overall, I think it's an excellent knife to use for light to medium tasks. The ergonomics on the knife are absolutely incredible. The fact that it opens and closes so easily makes it great. I think that's another thing, too, is the Dmitry Sinkovich design. The fact that the ergonomics are great, even for just cutting down something or swiping down when you're cutting something. Very, very comfortable to grip. There are no hot spots on this knife at all, even when using the knife. It's just an overall comfortable knife to use. Yeah. Nice deep pocket clip on that. I don't know what else to say about it, other than I put the knife through the test and it's still alive. I don't know if I can say that. But that's pretty much all that I really wanted to say about the knife. You need a knife to use that's fairly, you need to be using it for fairly light to medium tasks. This knife would do a pretty good job for you. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't go using it for heavy usage. like I would my zero tolerance knife, because I use this knife quite a bit too. You can tell. But this knife is, it's a ZT, so what can you say? I mean, there's nothing to compare this knife as far as use to this one. No, I can't do that, because this knife's seen some serious heavy use as well, but it didn't seem to die out anywhere near, like this knife did. So basically what that means is, you get what you pay for, right? Here's a $200 knife, you take it out, camping, you take it out, whatever jobs you need to do, and this will handle just about anything. This one will also handle just about any job you need, but after a while, yeah, you're going to have to wind up sharpening it. It's going to have to be, pretty much resharpened and start that cycle all over again. So, but for medium to light tasks, yes, definitely this is a good knife to use. You can use it. I use it cutting some rope, not heavy rope, but a good size rope. Thickness on it, I don't know how to describe that. It cut through okay. I did notice though when I was cutting rope that yeah, it did start to die out after a while. But, it just goes to show you, unless you put the knife through the test, you're never really going to know how good a knife is. So this is actually the first video I've actually done where I've actually beat up a knife just to see what it can do. And the only reason why I chose this knife, again, is because of the flippability. I mean, you flip this knife. If you had this knife in your hand, you'd see why this was in my pocket every day for so long. And another thing, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, if any of you guys have a Kershaw Tumbler, but the subframe lock on this is absolutely excellent. But one of the things that I love about this knife is the fact that if you take a look at the lockup on this, okay, so that right there, this is the first knife I've ever seen where the lockup, or the subframe lock, I guess, or the liner lock, in this case it's a subframe lock, actually is the perfect shape for the underside of this knife. I mean, if you look at it, it's practically kissing the underside of that knife. Because, with liner locks, usually the liner lock, it would be super straight, and then it's doing that way, then you'd have to push the liner lock out of the way, but it doesn't hug it the way this does. And I think the reason that that's kind of important is that kind of enhances the fact that the knife won't have any blade play, even if you beat the hell out of it. All right? So, yeah. So the Kershaw Tumbler, yeah, I definitely highly recommend this as a using knife. I don't recommend that you would use it the way I used it. Like I said, I used it to cut a succession of boxes, maybe like 12 in a row without stopping. And these were not like the thin cardboard boxes. These were like an 1/8-inch thick cardboard box, and it still cut them. But yeah, after about the 5th or 6th box, I had to switch over to the ZT for that day. But that was a real heavy work day for me. I was doing some serious spring cleaning, and these were the two knives that just happened to be in my, on me, or at least this one was actually on me, and I went back in the house and got this one to finish the job after this guy died out. But yeah, in conclusion regarding the Kershaw Tumbler, for light to medium tasks, yeah, definitely pick this up. Eventually, you are going to have to sharpen that blade. That is D2 steel. I am not a professional sharpener by any means. In fact, I've never sharpened a blade. I usually take it down to the local knife shop. The guy will sharpen it for me for about, $7. So, yeah, definitely have to get this thing sharpened after some serious heavy use. So, I mean, that's about it for this knife as far as using it. Again, light to medium tasks on this knife if you're going to be using it. And yeah, you will be sharpening it after a while, depending on how heavy you're going to be using the knife. like I said, it was a fairly heavy day for me as far as using it, and I can't help but laugh because I can't even cut the freaking paper anymore. It's just tearing it, guys. It's just, you know. But that shouldn't be, that shouldn't take away from the fact that this is an excellent knife. You know, I beat the hell out of it. I don't know what else to tell you. I use it like, you know, you would use a ZT. And there's no way that that knife can survive, this knife can survive the abuse the same way this knife can. So you're talking about $200 versus like, what, 62 bucks? So anyway, any thoughts, any comments, guys? Please feel free to comment on my channel regarding the Kershaw Tumbler. If you have it, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. What do you think of it as far as using the knife? Let me know. I really want to hear from you. Again, this is Omar the Knife Shark Guy signing off. Hoping you'll find this great flipping action piece in your collection real soon. This is Omar the Knife Shark Guy signing off. Hoping you'll find this in your collection somehow. Really, it looks really awesome with the mat though, doesn't it, guys? Look at that. Kershaw knife on a Kershaw mat. Really awesome. I'm going to close with that picture. Thanks so much for watching, and you guys have a great evening. Happy 4th.